Hey there friends, for your science experiment today, what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 plastic cups. It doesn't matter if they're clear or not. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill them up about halfway with water. So I'm going to do that. There's 1. And there's 2. And we learned from changing states that we can, if we cool something down or we take heat away from it, that it might change. So we're gonna do a little experiment and see how cold or how cool does it have to be for this to turn from a liquid into a solid. So I'm gonna put 1 cup here in the refrigerator, and I'm gonna put my other cup up here in the freezer, and I'm gonna see which one is going to turn to a solid first, or if ever. Can't wait to see what happens. Okay guys, it's been about 30 minutes, so we're gonna check our water and see what's happened. All right, the water in the fridge, you can see it's still sloshing around in there, so I would say it's still liquid. All right, and our water in our freezer is still liquid. I can still swish it around a little bit, so I'm gonna put it back in the freezer. And I'm gonna go record my observations in my journal, and I'm gonna check back in another 30 minutes. All right guys, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I'm gonna set up my journal so I can record my observations as I am doing my freezing experiment here. So I'm gonna call this liquid to solid because I'm trying to get that water to change into ice. Okay, and I'm gonna make like a little chart here for myself, so I'm gonna skip a couple lines and I'm gonna leave a little space, and I'm gonna draw a line across the top there, and then I'm gonna split it into a couple columns, and it's okay if it's not perfectly neat. Okay, just enough to show there. And I'm gonna label these, so I'm gonna say time because I'm gonna time myself and see how long it took. And I'm gonna put fridge. This way I can record my observations of what happened to the water in the fridge. And freezer. Okay, so we started at 30 minutes. And so I'm gonna put 30 min right there. And when I checked the fridge, it was still liquid. That water was still very liquidy. And when I checked the freezer, it is still liquid there. All right, I'll come back to my journal after I check next time. Okay guys, it's been another half an hour, another 30 minutes, so let's see what our experiment's up to right now. All right, the water in the fridge, it's cold, but it's still very liquid. And the water in the freezer, oh, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's still a little liquidy on the bottom, but the top is starting to freeze. So I want to keep my experiment going until it is completely frozen. So I'm going to go record my observations in my journal, and I can't wait to hear what happens with yours. All right guys, I'm back to put my new observations in there. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 60 minutes, right? Because it's now been 30 minutes plus another 30 minutes. And the water in the fridge is still a liquid. And it was also cold. All right, and the water in the freezer was, okay, the top layer was ice, so I'm gonna say top layer is ice, but the bottom is still liquid. Bottom still liquid. All right, and you're just gonna continue this until you have at least 1 cup of water that is completely frozen. I can't wait to compare times and hear how long it took for everyone's water to turn to ice. Bye guys.